Howdy friends, welcome back. Today we're at an assisted living facility in Palm Bay, Florida to take a look at a problem they're having with a leak coming from the second floor down to the first floor. This ought to be good. Let's go take a look. All right, so we're located in the housekeeping department here at the assisted living facility, and they're having a problem with water coming down from upstairs. And upstairs is a community bathroom, and we're right below a shower. Let me show you what's happening. Old buildings. You look up inside of there. There's a fiberglass enclosure shower. See that nut? And when they take a shower upstairs, the water's pouring down over to here. Huh. All right, so pay attention to what you see here. You see two lines, one's a P-trap and another P-trap. And then we got a shower right there it's leaking from. But it's leaking out from over here. I don't know where that is. Go upstairs and I'll show you the layout. All right, there's that fiberglass enclosure I was telling you about. That's where, when you run the water in here, it's leaking downstairs underneath the housekeeping. That drain right there where we saw the P-trap, there's another one that's right next to it over here.
Could be a fan.
But there's nothing on the floor.
Probably was one before they did the tile.
I don't know, but it's leaking out from this area, but it only happens when the shower is being ran. Let me show you a little closer what's happening here. All right, if you look here carefully, this is the fiberglass drain enclosure. That piece of rubber is bad. Okay, so when you're running the shower and stuff, water's going down through there. See, there's a gap. So it's just running past it because that seal's bad. But this seal is bad as well. Somebody tried caulking it. And so this has to come out, but I got to get up into that ceiling and take that nut off. Now, what was happening is when you ran the water in here, the water was filling up. There's a stoppage, and I'm going to have to run a snake down through there. And it was getting up high enough where it was breaching that area right there. See, you can see a breach down inside of there. Down in there. See that? That's what that rubber seal is meant to do. Then you got a little retention nut that holds that whole thing on. But I think it's also getting in underneath here. Now, the only way to take this off is by removing that nut down there in that ceiling, and that's going to be a real hassle. All right, so all in all, the flooring in between the ceiling and the flooring is concrete. And you saw where somebody had already been up in there and did their business and stuff. I'm going to probably have to get the ladder and get up there and use a small chipping hammer to get around that other old cast iron drain that looks like it's about gone. Find out where that thing's going. If it's abandoned, cut the thing, cap the thing off, and then try to work on this drain here. I might have to get another assembly, definitely a new rubber seal and all that stuff. Talk to the maintenance guys. He says he don't care what we have to do, make it happen. It's got to get fixed. All right, so this is really a mess, and we're working with plumbing that's up between floors right now, and it is in concrete. So I'm gonna have to put a drop cloth down in the laundry area and get on a ladder with a small chipping hammer and try to get that concrete removed from that second trap. Now you saw I was up right above where that other trap was, the cast iron one, and there's nothing there but it's a tile floor. I'm thinking that that used to be in a drain of some sort that's abandoned. P-traps are installed primarily for underneath sinks, tubs, and showers and stuff. Toilets have built-in P-traps to them already. Now that P-trap, the one that's not leaking, seems to be going nowhere. It's like going up into the ceiling, into the floors, but it's not going anywhere. And I need to cut that and break that concrete out enough to get in there to find out what's going on. And if it ain't going anywhere, we need to cut it out and abandon it, and then get in there and try to take that nut off the bottom part of that fiberglass enclosure so we can put a new piece in there and get this whole leak behind us. is it. Nut's got to come out of there. We got to get that assembly out. It is hot up in this sweatshop. I got my partner going upstairs to stand on that drain so I can try to tap that nut out of there. Got a little bit of the concrete out of there. Let's see what we can do. It's gonna be hard to show you with the camera, so just hang out. Oh, come on. There she is. Now get off the drain. Pull it out. That was a pain. We got that out. Partner's cleaning up over there. I'm gonna put this all back together. I had to get out of there. It's a housekeeping room and it's like a sweatshop. Sweating. We got that nut off the bottom of that fiberglass enclosure for the drain. I've got a new one that got sent over to me. Put that thing on there, and then we're going to hook all the stuff back in with the new P-trap. I'm going to try to stay out of that old cast iron and old copper as much as I can. But remember, we're working between floors, and the floors are made out of concrete. Okay, so I had to cut more of the concrete out of here. You can see I got almost a clear path. I'm going to have to cut this rebar out of here with a sawzall. So we have a nice straight drop out of here into a trap. Now we got a straight, clear path up to that shower. None of the jimming around like they had it before. It don't matter if P-trap shows because they all show down here. This is the utility room. This is the housekeeping. Clear room, straight to the shower. All right, so here's the old piece, and you can see they caulked it and did all that stuff. That's nonsense. Here's our new piece, and I've got putty. You set this thing down into place, and I'm gonna have my partner stay up top here and stand on this thing so it doesn't move. And we can seat that thing down properly with the putty and stuff while I connect that nut from the bottom side. Okay, gasket first, then friction gasket, and then nut. All right, here we go. There she goes. Nice and easy. I have to offset this drain with a couple 45s, street 45s. It's the only way to do it. All right, we're back again on the top side to try to catch that 2-inch drain we just stuffed up through the bottom. Put a rubber gasket and a little seal on there and see what we got from there. All right, nice and easy. We got to get this piece of rubber stuffed down inside of here. Take your time. A little flathead screwdriver, do the trick. Don't force anything. You want to ruin that gasket. When we took this out, this thing wasn't in there like this. It was a mess. This is a proper way to put together one of these fiberglass enclosures with a retention nut with the notches at the top. Put this thing in there and start tightening it down. That's the reason they give you this little tool. So you can tighten that down and compress that piece of rubber to that pipe from underneath. That way it's not going to leak. You see that? Nice and easy. Snug that baby down. See that? Last but not least, our little grate. That's a beautiful thing. Well, that came out pretty darn good. But before we can test all this, remember that standpipe, that vent, caught those two P-traps. There's a stoppage still going on in there. So I'm gonna have to get up there on the roof with my sewer machine and snake that line out. That way it's not gonna be flooding out that old abandoned pipe we showed you that's in the floor. I decided not to touch any of that stuff, just leave it where it is, fix the leaking drain and clear the stoppage. All right, so I got a couple other of my plumbers came out with the sewer machine because mine's in the shop right now, and they're gonna be getting up on the roof there and snaking that line out so we can make sure that it's all ready to go, and then we're gonna test our new drain. Time of truth. We're going to run water. My partner's upstairs, and we're going to see if they cleared that stoppage. Here comes water. I can hear it. It was leaking out of there before the abandoned pipe. So far. Over here where I'm squatting, this is the back wall of that shower. You saw the drain we replaced. Well, that abandoned trap is somewhere right in here. And they cut that thing and they left it open in between the floors. And that's why the water was pouring out there. So it's still open. I asked the maintenance guy, like I said before, if he wanted us to take and cap that off. He said no. So now it's on them. So if this drain over here gets clogged up or that pipe does again, it's going to do the same thing. But at least we fixed that drain and there's no leaks and everything's draining perfect now. Hey, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks so much for dropping by for a few minutes and watching the video. I appreciate all the comments, concerns, and the likes and the suggestions. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Keep them coming. If you are a plumber and you end up finding yourself on one of these old properties such as you just watched me at, remember, nothing is of the norm. Whoever ended up putting the flooring in the bathroom upstairs where we were working on that shower ended up abandoning an old drain between floors. Now that line got stopped up and it flooded out that old abandoned line, causing property damage to an adjacent apartment as well as water pouring all over the place, not to mention costing this facility quite a bit of money for my time today. It all worked out in the end. If you got any comments, I'd love to hear about them. Thanks so much. Until next time, don't forget to keep plumbing.